Hi, I'm Stephanie and thanks for checking out my channel. I've decided to start a new series called First Impression Foundation Fridays. So each Friday I'm going to test out a new foundation. I'm going to show myself applying it on camera, and then I'm going to do a check-in at the end of the day and kind of let you guys know how it went. I'm really excited about this series and I hope you guys are too. The first foundation I'm going to be testing is the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-Hour with Comfort Serum. It looks like this. I just hauled it, as you might have seen if you watched my previous video. I'll link that down below. I actually hauled the 100 Ivory shade, which was too dark for me, but it was the lightest I could find. I then found out that they had a lighter shade called 10 Light Porcelain, which is a bit too light, so I thought mixing them together would be perfect. I then found out there was a shade in between them called Light Ivory, but I was like, I've already purchased two, I'm not going to purchase a third just to get a shade I can already make with the two I have. Anyways, it does seem that the shade ranges varies from region to region. So just to go over what this foundation claims to do, it says it's a full coverage foundation enriched with comfort serum, instant perfect coverage that feels extra comfortable and lasts all day, sweat, heat, humidity, and transfer proof for up to 25 hours, coverage that won't let you down. So it is quite hot here, so I really am going to be testing out that sweat, heat, humidity, transfer proofness that it claims to have. Since purchasing the shades, I've had a bit of a tan, so I'm not 100% sure what shade is going to fit me. So I'm going to do swatches right here to test them separately and then test a combination of the two, and then we'll figure out what shade to go with from there. So it's nice. The package is a glass bottle and it comes with this little pump, which is really nice. This is the 100 Ivory. Probably did not, I just did like a full pump, not really sure why since I'm just testing the color. Anyways, it looks like this. And then just to do a light swatch on my face to figure out what color we're going to go with. See, this one doesn't look so bad right now. I'm not sure if you guys can tell. I'll do the other two options and then kind of scooch you in so you can see. This is the light porcelain. So you can see this is light porcelain compared to the ivory. That one is definitely too light. And then I'm going to just mix them together. This is the little glob mixed together. And this one, just so you guys can see, this is the light porcelain. This is the ivory and this is the mixture of them. So I think I'm just going to go with a mixture of them and we'll see how it goes. So half my face, this side, I'm going to use a makeup sponge, and this side I'm going to use a brush. I haven't primed my face, but I have moisturized it because on the daily, though I would like to prime every day, I sometimes forget, but I definitely never get to moisturize because it's part of my skincare routine. So I've moisturized my face and we're just going to put the foundation on top of that. And I think that's a great way to test the claims of the foundation without the primer interfering with it. But let me know what you guys prefer. If you want to see Foundation Fridays going forward with a primer, just let me know. Or you want to see half the face with the primer, just let me know what you guys would like to see. So I put a pump of each shade on my hand and I'm going to kind of just mix it together and work from there. The makeup sponge I'm using, it is clean, it's just unfortunately stained, and it is from Superdrug, which I show in my haul again. It'll be listed below. So this side is going to be the makeup sponge. And already, I'm not sure if you guys could see, but I had some coloring there from spots. So this is covering it up quite nicely. The shades I have, I feel like this looks quite dewy, which I'm a little bit surprised. I definitely tend to think full coverage, long lasting. I tend to associate that with more matte or natural finishes, but this does seem to be quite a dewy finish, as I have combo oily skin. Like, dewy isn't really a look I go for since I'm already quite dewy on my own without any help from foundation. So we'll see how that goes. I feel like once it gets hotter and sweating, I don't know. I'm not sure how well a dewy foundation will work. As for the coverage, like I can still see a few spots. It's definitely covered it, but I would consider this like medium coverage, definitely not full coverage, at least not with this sponge, but I do feel like it blended out quite nicely, and I think the shade of it's pretty decent. Now I'm going to go in using this makeup brush, which is actually from Primark. Yeah, it's definitely very densely packed and great for applying foundation. So just to put it on this side. Bring it back a little bit and down my neck a little bit, just so you don't have that line of demarcation between foundation, skin, two different colors. So applying with the brush, let me just show you. This is the brush side, this is the sponge side. I feel like I got similar coverage. Again, I like have a few little slight pigmentation here, and I feel like that is still showing through a bit. To be honest, I've never really found anything that covers my spots completely, so I guess I don't really use full coverage foundations. I was saying before that the makeup sponge side looked a little dewy to me, and I definitely don't really quite have that effect with the brush side. I feel like it definitely does look more, I wouldn't quite say matte, but more of a natural finish, whereas this side looks dewy to me. I feel like the makeup sponge side has had a little bit of time to set now, and it is looking a bit more natural than the dew when I was first playing with the makeup sponge. I really didn't know how that would go. In terms of which way I like to apply this product, I honestly think that there is not that much of a difference between the two sides. At least I can't really tell. Maybe throughout the day we'll see if it made a difference. But I definitely do like the color I made with the two, so I'm really glad I did purchase both shades. So I'm going to go put on the rest of my makeup, and I'll let you guys know how other products applied on top of this foundation and what my current thoughts are on it. So now that I put on makeup, I just wanted to give you a few more thoughts, just to let you know that I set the foundation with the E.L.F. loose powder, it's just the sheer one, and that I set my overall makeup with the Rimmel Instant Fix and Go 2-in-1 primer and setting spray. I just did these things even though I wanted to test the longevity of the foundation on its own. Like, I never not set my foundation just because liquid foundation, then putting on powder, bronzer, and powder blush and stuff, I feel the need to set it. And then with all those powders, like, I don't want my face to look too powdery, so that's why I end up spraying the setting spray, because to kind of just melt down all those powders. So these are steps that I would do regardless of whatever foundation I'm using, so hopefully they won't impact my thoughts on the foundation too much, because the E.L.F. loose powder, I find like it's just a run-of-the-mill, almost below average powder. It works because it does set the foundation, but beyond that it's not like it mattifies throughout the day or anything like that. And as for the setting spray, it's good for setting down the powder, but beyond that I don't know if it really does lengthen the wear of the makeup. So I do think that using these two products while testing out a foundation is fine, and I hope you guys see it that way too. So when applying everything, I didn't really notice any issues applying any of the products on top of the foundation, which was really great to see. I did check it out in natural light, and I was a little worried about oxidization because when it did dry on my hand, it did dry quite pink. And when I looked out in the sun before applying the rest of my makeup, it looked like it was starting to head in that direction. But once I applied the rest of my makeup, I feel like putting the bronzer and having the setting powder and stuff kind of took care of those things. So as long as it doesn't further oxidize, I think it'll be fine. Like, if you guys want to see between here and here, I don't really see too much of a shade difference, so that's good, and hopefully it stays that way. I will check in with you guys at the end of the day. So I have a big day ahead of me, meetings, things I need to get done. So it's definitely not just lazing about the house, like I will be out in the heat, and we'll see how the foundation wears, and I can't wait to check in with you guys at the end of the day. Hi guys, I'm back to let you know how the Rimmel Lasting Foundation wore throughout the day. Like I said at the beginning, I was a bit worried about oxidization. I found that when I was in my car looking through natural light that I could really see some discoloration between my face and my neck, but I kind of always find that when I'm in the car that the lighting in there just always seems to be different than anywhere else, because when I was just in natural light outside, I took my mirror outside and went to look and it seemed fine. Every building I was in, it looked fine. The washrooms I was in, it looked fine. So pretty much my day to day it looked fine. The only time it looked a little weird was in the car, which I feel like all makeup looks weird in the car. I don't know, let me know if you guys feel that way too. So the oxidization was not really an issue, so it did go a little bit pink, but nothing too crazy. That powdering didn't kind of help with in the end. So it is very light on the face, but I did find that it claimed to be sweat resistant, and while I wasn't sweating per se, it was really hot and humid out, and even though I set the powder, I could feel it kind of getting a bit creamier throughout the day, and it like felt wet, and I worry now that like if I were to touch my face and wipe it, like I would be wiping off like a cream almost. So it did start to feel like a little bit heavier throughout the day, and I could tell that I was wearing makeup, but when I first put it on I didn't really have that feeling, so that was a little interesting. I'm going to zoom you guys in closer so you can kind of have a better look of how it wore throughout the day. So I'm not sure if you guys can see, but on my forehead it started to break apart a little bit and it started to get really greasy, and in my nose it started to really come off here at the sides, but not so much the bridge of my nose. And for my smile lines, I found it really settled in on this side, which was the brush side, but this side, which was the sponge side, I didn't really see as much of an issue with. So like I showed you, I was a bit dewy on my forehead, and I think you can see my cheeks are kind of with that dewiness, which I don't really mind, but my forehead and my chin, I don't want to see dewy throughout the day. I decided not to powder or blot these down because I wanted to see how the foundation really wore on its own without any outside help. It does claim to be a 25-hour lasting finish. I was wearing this for 9.5 hours, and it was breaking apart on my forehead and the sides of my nose, so I don't know how it would look after 25 hours, but I will say like the rest of it really did hold up well. With the smile lines, like even though it did kind of sink in a bit on the side I used the brush with versus the makeup sponge, I didn't find it to be too bad. I've had other foundations where it's like lines and like it just looks so ridiculous even after just a few hours. So after, I found that I noticed the smile lines maybe about 1-2 hours in, but that it didn't get any worse beyond that point. So that was nice. If you're looking for a 25-hour foundation like this claims to be, then I would suggest you keep on looking. I just don't think that 25 hours is there. But if you are looking for a medium coverage that really does stay on the face, because as I'm not sure if you guys can tell, but the foundation is still everywhere. It did break apart a little bit, but it is still on my face. There's some foundations I use that by the end of the day it's like, did I even put on foundation this morning? It's basically all gone. So it is still there. It does still look like I am wearing a full face of makeup 9 hours later. So the lasting power is there, but it's not perfect. I will definitely continue to use this product. This was just my first time using it, and I like the results enough to keep using it. I'm going to quickly wipe down half my face with this makeup wipe so you guys can see the lasting power of the makeup for yourself. As you can see, like, there is definitely foundation still all over my face. It's definitely there, and I'm not sure if you guys can tell the difference, but this side makeup, this side no makeup. So it definitely was lasting. Did it break apart a bit? Yes, but if you aren't oily, then that's really not going to be an issue for you. And I feel like when I did first notice it, I was tempted to blot, but I wanted to see how the foundation wore. But had I blotted right away or powdered, then I definitely don't think it would be as noticeable. That being said, even though I didn't, it wasn't super noticeable, so I will definitely continue to use this product. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to filming more of this series. Bye!